Now we have something to do with your health, but this is non-controversial because I don't think there's anyone who says I wouldn't like LASIK. I mean, some people can't afford it, maybe they think, but we can show you can. And also, you may think, well, my glasses are all right, but they don't realize how much it can cost. You know, you can actually save money doing LASIK. Dr. John Dishler, we have all kinds of things to talk about today, all kinds of things. First of all, how do you afford LASIK? That's the very first thing people think of, okay? They should think of who's doing it. Dr. John Dishler, a pioneer literally, has been doing this for years and years, the latest technology, personal care, great office. But the first thing people ask is how much? And how do I afford it?
Well, that's the question that comes to their mind. You know, LASIK costs less today than it did 10 years ago.
It does.
Because the technology's improved, the efficiency's improved. But, you know, people have to think about what they're getting and what they're buying. They're only going to buy this once. And cost is an important factor, and we, want to talk about that today because that is so important to people. But they have to pick a lot of different things: who the doctor is, what kind of technology they're going to get, and those are probably more important in the long run than the actual cost. But it's important to realize a few things about cost.
Well, first of all, let's talk about some options. You have financing available.
Right, we have financing, no interest financing, 2 years. Most people can qualify.
That's good. 2 years, no interest.
Yeah, that makes it much more comfortable for people.
Yes.
And when they look at what they would have spent over those 2 years on contacts, on glasses, on all those things, eye care, it really reduces that gap a lot to where it doesn't cost them nearly as much as they think.
You had a chart one time that showed the savings available when you get LASIK. You don't have all that continued care anymore. Now, what about flexible spending? People, if you haven't done it now, you can do it. You can do it whenever your employer allows you to sign up. I think it's at the beginning of the year.
Right.
You choose how much money you want to put away, before taxes.
Tax deferred, right. So you're spending pre-tax dollars, which is essentially for most people a significant savings.
20, 30,
40% off of the price of the procedure.
So that dollar you put away in your flex spending account that wasn't taxed, that's $1. So you're spending 100 cents of that dollar. And then you can take that out, and LASIK does qualify.
Right. LASIK definitely qualifies, and we're very busy at times of the year when people's flexible spending accounts, come into effect, and it's a really good situation.
And then tax refunds.
And then tax refunds is the other thing, because it's tax deductible. A lot of people, and it's getting to be, that's why we wanted to talk about it. People should be aware April 15th is coming up, and it is a tax deductible expense for many people.
And another thing, if you only have a small refund, you can put that down. The 24-month financing doesn't have to be for 100% of it. If you want to pay some of it down and have lower payments, you can do that too. But as far as the expense goes, you may look at a certain doctor and say, well, wait a minute, I heard $400 an eye. And we really have to address that, because in some rare cases, if you have hardly any correction that needs any new technologies, you can possibly get in for $495 for an eye. But that's probably, I heard one guy quoted who actually does it, less than 2%.
Right, less than 2%. And that's why we'll say to you, to your audience, we'll match anybody's price. Somebody comes in with state-of-the-art, technology, all laser LASIK, custom LASIK, no matter what the prescription, come to us. If somebody else quoted you a lower price for that, legitimate quote, we'll match that, because the reality is that just like most things, the cost for this is controlled by other factors. I don't really completely set the price. It's got to do with the equipment costs, the insurance costs. Everyone has the same underlying cost structure to do the same thing.
And with the very latest technology, the blade-free technology, there's something called a royalty. Every time you turn on that machine and use it, you have to pay the inventor.
Right. You have to pay a click fee, they call it, because every time, besides buying this equipment that costs millions of dollars, every time it's used, you're paying a surprisingly large amount of money to use it.
Now, if a doctor can do it very, very cheap and doesn't pay a royalty, it means the royalty expired. It means the machine is old.
Right.
And so you really have to educate yourself. Shop around if you want, but ask a lot of questions about this because it's not going to be cheap. And if it is, you have to ask a lot of questions. Please, you were talking about eyes, right?
Right.
Now, let's talk about some specials because I like this. We've been trying to do this video contest, and some brave people have come forward. All we're asking is that you do a YouTube video. If you go on Dishler.com, you can get details. If you do this video, you know these little flip cams or a little camcorder or even now your phone, do a little recording saying, I deserve LASIK because, and give a funny story or a serious story. And you would get, just for entering that video, $500 off. And if the video wins, you get free LASIK.
Right.
Now, that's for a funny one free and a serious one free. That's 2 winners, plus everyone who enters gets $500 off. But here's what we're going to do for you. If you want to get $500 off anyway, we're going to do this special. Is it only to the end of the month?
Only to the end of the month, and it has to be only for people that see the show.
Yeah.
So they have to
mention...
You have to
say Martino TV,
right.
And there's your TV coupon right there.
Right.
All you have to say is Martino TV when you call, or I saw it on Martino TV, and that $500 will come right off the top. You don't have to enter a video contest to get it. $500 off right there. Now, if you want to try to qualify for the free LASIK, if you go to Dishler's office, by the way, you can get a free evaluation if you want to, as far as your LASIK. But get the coupon, go to Dishler, here are the numbers, and what would happen is they even have a camera there. You can do a video right there in their office and recite why you think you deserve LASIK if you'd like, or just go there for a free evaluation, and you can get $500 off no matter what. $500 off. Dishler.com is the website to find out all these details, or give them a call at 303-793-3000. 303-793-3000. That's Dishler LASIK. And you can find them online at Dishler. Dishler.com. 303-793-3000. And when we say a complimentary consultation, we mean an exam and an evaluation at no charge to you and no obligation. But, of course, you're going to love the office. 303-793-3000.